All right. Hello. Hello, everybody. For once, I'm doing one of these alone, but that's okay. It's been a while. All I'm really gonna say is I hope this doesn't disappoint. I want to see my armor hopefully lower in the tier, but we'll see if we even see the pass.
The Winter Update is our holiday celebration of all things Halo. We're delivering our Campaign Network Co-op, our Forge Open Beta. We're shipping a whole bunch of cool things inside of our free-to-play multiplayer product. It's all free, coming out on November 8th of this year.
So for the Winter Update, we're releasing 2 new maps, a new
cat,
mode,
I guess I'm not a
30-tier battle pass,
Hello, cat.
2 events,
Hello,
and match XP. And all of that is free.
We have 2 official Forge created maps coming in the Winter Update. There are 2 multiplayer arena maps. One's called Argyle and one's called Detachment.
So Epitaph
Detachment has the
and
first
I
teleporter
don't know
that's
this
in an
one.
official Halo Infinite multiplayer map.
From a gameplay perspective, having something where really a teleporter plays to like a flank or like kind of an assault on a position in a surprise way is super cool. And like I think the way it really worked into that map played out really well and adds a lot of counterplay to like people hanging out on the island and camping that space. Argyle is cool because it has this big kind of open central yard, and it has some really interesting flank routes around the sides. And so you can go like really just frontal assault and try to push your way in, or kind of be a little sneakier around the sides. Having this big kind of central
Epitaph,
courtyard has created a lot of really cool gameplay.
UNSC look to it.
We have in Infinite so far.
The new mode in the Winter Update, Covert One Flag, is our first asymmetric.
And not
One
infection.
team is the attacker and one team's the defender. The
Can't be mad.
attackers
It's a new
have
game
unlimited
mode.
active
It's
camo
just this
at
feels like a
disposal, and
custom
then the
game.
defenders
When
have the threat
people are
sensors.
making
And so they're kind
infection.
of, spotting, and it plays like a cat and mouse game, which is really fun.
And like leaked builds.
One of the biggest pieces of feedback that we've gotten since we launched is that people really want a system that gives them points, XP points, for just playing the game. The new Match XP system actually rewards players for playing. As you're playing matches, you get XP. If you win, you get a little bit of bonus XP. If you perform well, you get a little bit of bonus XP. And we're trying to tune that system so that it actually gets you moving through the battle pass a lot quicker than we have in the past. The Winter Update has a 30-tier free battle pass that
Showcase it?
is full of really fun stuff. That battle pass is
Please?
full of Reach stuff, and some player favorites like the CQC and CQB, armor attachments with knives. It's really, really cool, and again, it's free. We also have 2 events going on with the Winter Update. The one in December is called Winter Contingency 2, and then in January we have the Joint Fire event.
No
I'm excited
returning
for
ones?
folks to jump in to start enjoying the new additions that are coming with the November update.
This is gonna be the time to bring back like season 1 bundles too. That isn't it.
Co-op has always been a big part of the Halo
Really?
experience. Being
That's
able to
all
play with
you're
your
gonna
friends,
say?
Do all sorts of cool and fun things together.
No
that you
surprise
can't do in
infection,
single
huh?
player.
And with Halo
Really?
Infinite, we've made this much more expansive,
Or, like,
wide open
anything?
world. And with the release of Network Co-op, I'm just looking forward to people jumping in with their friends.
I don't know what I
exploring the
expected.
world, having
I
fun
knew
with
they
the
were just gonna
sandbox,
talk about
just
stuff on the
mixing it
battle
up and
pass.
getting
I was
that
just kind of
crazy,
like, I
over-the-top
think people were
Halo
having the
action
hope like,
in the campaign.
Whether you're playing single
please
player
just
or you're playing
surprise
co-op with your
announcement.
friends, any progress made is saved. So it's not a case now where you and I are going to get together.
Loof and I are
going
gonna need to do
play
this
your
when
game.
he
What
can
we're going to do
manage.
is start
That'll be
everybody
pretty nice
at the
to
place
continue
where
our
the furthest
bizarre
behind
Halo adventure
player
together.
was in their individual save file that they picked.
Wow, more
Nobody
like
misses
his.
any
I'm
of the
used to
campaign.
the
Nobody
Halo
breaks the
adventure
sequence, so
at
you're still
this
getting
point.
to
He's
experience
all-
the full story.
For him, it's all the
The
new.
objects are the same way. Collectibles, data pads, even Spartan cores. So if you've collected a Spartan core, let's say, and I haven't, when we go to that Spartan core, it's still interactive. And any one of us can activate it to collect it. Those who haven't collected that particular Spartan core, they get it. And a fun little feature specifically regarding skulls is at the beginning of the fire team when you're setting it up, the set of skulls we'll have to choose from is all the skulls that everybody has brought. And so it's a bit of a bragging moment from you. You can say, yeah, birthday party, that's mine. With moving to a
I think that's
semi-open
kind of how it
world
was
Halo
in past
game,
Halos
we wanted
too.
to make it so that you have this ability to go explore, find things, go take on an outpost or a base or something like that. However you guys want to do it. You know, it's like, hey, you go take that tower. We're going to go take this tower. You know, and you can split up and do your stuff. But there is a limit because it is a co-op game.
I'm gonna be
so
honest.
it's not
The
the
main
idea
reason I was
that we're
watching
being
was
put
to
into
get
a
an
world and
idea
you'll
of
just
what the
go
battle
do
pass
your
is
own
gonna
game.
even look
The
like,
idea
so
is
I
to
can
play
plan
together.
ahead.
That's the focus.
If you're in one of our interior maps, these are more
course
of
not.
the linear,
never that
traditional
easy.
Halo style levels. As you progress through the level, if someone in the
I don't know
fire
how my
team is too far
schedule's
behind,
gonna be,
then
so I
they'll
wanna
be
make sure I
brought up
can-
with the rest of the team. When you're out on the ring, what we have is a radius-based system.
We went to the largest base that we have in the game and then basically made the space double that. So you have tons of room to go outside of that, come back, lots of room for aerial vehicles.
Unlike previous Halos, you don't lose your weapons when you die in this one. You respawn with the same stuff you had when you die. So there's really not a mechanical penalty other than the respawn time, and your teammates have to be safe to spawn on.
That's
We're
how it's
really
all. Yeah.
diminishing sort of the
But I
domineering
guess not
nature of the
everybody,
fire team
you know?
leader, you know, because it is no longer the idea that we're playing the fire team leader's game. Everybody's playing their own games. Anybody can skip a narrative sequence. Anybody can pick up objects in the world. Anybody can trigger a mission replay, fast travel to a new location, trigger those kinds of things. A fun one is the when you open up the TAC map and you place a marker, anybody can turn that back off. Griefing is a very important aspect of
True.
co-op. You can kill each other, which can be fun as well. Load everybody up into a Razorback and then just drive off a cliff and giggle the whole time.
And then, of course, we've also got a bunch of new achievements. Both
Yeah, you can do
for
that in split screen too,
co-op
right?
And mission replay that emphasize either playing together with friends, or in the case of the
the
replay
community
achievements,
sure
going
can.
back and revisiting parts of missions that you couldn't have visited before we had the mission replay feature.
One of the achievements is
Co-op is
basically
nice.
you got to take out a certain number of enemies with a gravid hammer, hanging outside of a vehicle while you're doing it, which is pretty fun. The team here at 343, we've been working really hard on campaign co-op. We're excited to get it into your hands and see what you guys can come up with, see what kind of fun you get into. We call it chaosum because it's just awesome. The amount of chaos and just crazy stuff that you can do, and doing it together, it's just really, really fun.
As part of the free winter update, we're super excited to release the Forge Open Beta, our most powerful Forge tool yet.
Well, ever since Halo
Whoa.
3, Forge has been the way
I haven't
we
seen the
unlock
Forge
all
fundamental
the creativity
videos,
of our
honestly.
players. Allows them to
I
jump
probably
in,
should.
make their own maps and modes, whole new experiences.
When Forge launched, it was a
'Cause
cool
I'm gonna
tool
wanna
for
know
the
what I'm
community
able to
start
do.
playing with maps and having influence on maps where spawners were moving some objects around. It wasn't quite a fully robust tool set for building levels yet, and that's where it's kind of evolved to, and then beyond. Now it's like its own little game editor.
With the release of the beta, we're inviting everyone to participate in Forge. And the good news is, all the work that you do on your maps and modes and anything else inside of Forge, that's going to be saved and continue on.
Basically, how Forge works is you go into Forge and you place a bunch of different kind of objects to create a space where players can play in. And then you decorate it with different materials or colors, lights, VFX, and audio. And they can then save them, they can share them, and then play them with other players. Even if you're not intending to play Forge, Forge has a lot to offer you because all those players who are making stuff with Forge will be available to you, and so you'll be able to create custom games and play that content with your friends.
Our
That one
Forge system that
just-
people are going to experience with
that
the Winter
Eternity
Update
map
is at a whole other level.
It's like an
there's nothing that we've
untextured
done with Forge
Hyrule
like this
temple
before,
from
and the
Smash.
type of content that people are going to be able to make for Halo Infinite is insane.
In Halo Infinite Forge, we've increased the object count to around 7,000 objects. In Halo 5, for comparison, it was 1,600 objects.
As a forger, I think the thing that's going to surprise us a lot is be able to scale objects. Like, for example, like these objects look like these massive pipes are running underneath ground for this facility. It is literally just a small cable or a hose that he's scaled up and changed material on. I personally think scaling is going to be changing a lot of how these maps are going to be looking visually, and it's going to blur the line from a Forge map to a dev quality map.
I'm excited about a lot of things, but I think I'm most excited about the visual scripting language. You know, this is the deepest players have been able to get inside our code, our scripting language.
Most
Even if you're not familiar
I have
with visual scripting
experience with
systems, it's really
is
easy to get
RPG
started, to
Maker
start to recombine
from high
things.
school.
You can drag nodes into
Oh,
your scripting
fuck.
space and draw out the events and the functions that you want to do in your map.
We've been able to get you a lot closer to the systems. We've got over 100 different nodes that I could only dream of back as a player in Halo 5. I'm very, very excited to be able to offer these to players, like things that I wanted to do before, and finally we get to do them now.
Whether it was Griffball or Infection, a whole bunch of things that are now core to Halo all came from mode work inside of Forge. And I think with the new visual scripting
just
system,
mentioned
players are going to have
Griffball
the
and
ability to do
Infection
even
over and
cooler,
over
more
again.
interesting things than they've had a chance to do in the past. That's going to be super exciting.
How do you acknowledge it? I'm sorry. I should be
The
hating
Forge launch will
They
be
probably
supporting 6 canvases,
scripted it
and
for him
moving
and all, but
forward,
still,
we'll be adding
fuck.
to canvases as we can. The canvas diversity we have is pretty fantastic. In fact, we have a player requested canvas, which is blank, which is just an empty canvas. So no matter what kind of experience you're trying to create, the canvas backdrop, well, we've got your back.
Those do look pretty cool.
We're super excited to bring NavMesh into Forge. NavMesh is basically data that Spartan bots rely on to navigate a map. This is the first time that bot support has appeared in Forge in the Halo series.
It always just blows me away, people's creativity, taking things that we've done and making them new again with their own
I'm gonna have a
imagination.
lot to
We've
learn
already
with
seen
this stuff,
a lot
it
of
seems.
amazing content being created by the community and our Forge Council.
It's super
But
encouraging
hey, when I'm
to
bored with
already see
doing
before we
matchmaking
even release this
and
what
have
this
the
thing is
pass
capable of,
done in like a
and the
month,
amount of content that they're going to be able to create.
I'll
it's-
have a
it's
lot
kind of
to mess with
unstoppable.
here.
The Forge Council is already making a wide variety of experiences.
I genuinely
I've seen
wanna
really
do
amazing arena maps.
Forge
I've seen
streams.
crazy
That'd be kinda
scripts.
fun.
They are really pushing Forge.
Once Forge releases, we're really going to be watching what comes out because we want to find the cool, the best of, right? And surface those things to players in any way we can. The more we can take those things and kind of put them up on a pedestal and inside of the rest of our game and kind of let the rest of the community play them, that's super cool. And that's really the heart and spirit of what Forge is. What people should
Yeah.
expect with Forge is that, much like the rest of the game, it's just going to continue to grow and evolve as we add new game modes and new objects with Forge, or just in our suite of modes in general. We'll be bringing those things into Forge and adding some of that scripting functionality so that the players will have access to all that kind of stuff.
Forge is going to evolve based on what the community wants, right? We've already started a good dialogue with the Forge Council. They've given us some good feedback. Once Forge goes live, I'm super excited to hear what the community says, because that's going to be our North Star in terms of what Forge turns into. On behalf of the entire Forge team, we are so excited to see what the community makes with Forge.
Yeah,
It's been a long journey, and we're excited to finally share this with you.
I think this is the start of a new
the Forge
part of
team
the journey
really
of
is
Infinite and where we continue
carrying.
to evolve as a service and how the game will continue to expand alongside of the community as we keep releasing new features and making the game crazier and more fun.
The Forge Open Beta is available on November 8th, along with Campaign Network Co-op and Mission Replay, and some great additions to our multiplayer experience. All part of the winter update.
No showing the past though. Fine. So despite my little jokey overreaction at the end, this was a good video. And now it's time to give my thoughts on stuff. I had a video just talking about my thoughts on Halo Infinite as a whole, but that was on my drive that died, and it never really got finished anyways, so this is the best you're getting from me. Overall, this is a dub. See, that's the thing. This is a W for them. The problem is, I'll just take a quote from what I said to my friends. My issue isn't with the stuff that's in the game or with what's coming. That stuff's cool. My issue is with what's not in the game right now and how long it's going to take for them to even implement it. That is my big issue. So all this cool stuff is nice. Maybe they could have swapped Covert 1 flag with Griffball or Infection, but they didn't do that. I don't know what else to really say there. It's good. Stuff looks good. Forge looks fucking great. I want to make Halo maps again. It's been a long fucking time. I hope they do a playlist for Forge maps. That'd be really cool. My issues with the overview is 3 things. We have no clue what the past will look like. Will it be more of a gift or will it be more of a reality check? Like, we haven't seen JFO. We don't know if it's going to be packed with all of the missing Reach stuff, or if they're going to still try and sell stuff on the store like JFO, like I mentioned. Not being anywhere, it's concerning. We don't know if it's going to be one item per pass and maybe like a challenge swap or XP boost hidden in there, or if it's going to be fucking cram-packed with all of the missing Reach stuff. We don't know. They're not showing. We also haven't seen the match XP system. From my understanding, it's seemingly replacing the daily challenge system for some reason. I thought it was going to be a progression system. That could change. Like, maybe that's just how they're testing it now. That could be what they intend it to be. I think MCC does it best, and maybe they can give rewards for each rank you hit, and they can add, like, tours for each season. So it's like, okay, this tour is up. Here's another tour after that has more stuff with the new season stuff. We'll have to see. And the last thing is what the fuck they're doing with the store. It's been a mess since day one, but my hope is that they'll reuse some Season 1 bundles that people missed out on, like Zvezda, or Estate Gold, or the Soldier Bundle, and maybe put them on sale. But they could also just give us a bunch of new stuff that could be tied to Reach. Like I mentioned with JFO, that is something they could totally do. I don't know. We don't know any of this stuff, honestly. We can just hope for the best when it comes out in, like, 3 weeks. Holy fuck, it's gonna be, like, 3 weeks. So yeah, this is the part where I'd usually plug my Twitter or my Twitch, but I'm on hiatus from that stuff. I'll probably be back to stream the winter update, though, so if you want to follow in advance and keep an eye out for that, yeah. I got nothing. I'm too tired to think of a proper outro. Gonna just be real here. So I guess all I can say is later, bitches.